Hey group, I always like to make sure I'm on air first. Okay, make sure I'm on air. Okay. 'Cause I don't want to rap on with valuable information for 10 minutes and find out I wasn't even recording. Oh boy, man, it's cold this morning, people. I live in Houston, Texas. My name's Earl, of course. Or some people have called me other things in life. One girlfriend I had way back in 2008 called me her unicorn. Okay, I didn't give a shit. Oh well, enough of that. But I want to talk to you people about, because it's something you're all gonna have to deal with. More than likely, the greatest percentage of you people on this earth. A last will and testament. Alright, now, let me explain something. Let me explain something to you people. On bank accounts, for starters, make yourself familiar with what's called a POD, which stands for Pay on Death. Which means if someone dies, one of your relatives, and you're listed as a beneficiary, and they had the POD added on all their accounts, which everybody should do this in case you get killed or die or naturally die, whatever they want to call it. A pay on death, POD, added on your account. And don't let banks lie to you. If you say, I want the POD, and they say, oh, okay, we entered that for you. No, it doesn't work like that. What you do, they give you what's called a letter of administration. It sounds complex, but it's not. It's like an application form. You fill it out. Make yourself a copy and then give it to them and make sure it's in their computer system, okay? That's how that's done. Anything, banks are not your friend, people. A bank is looking out for their interest only. And see, with a POD, a beneficiary listed on your account, they can take a death certificate if you die, and they can just go to that bank and they will give them that money right there on the spot. See, and that's taken care of, okay? Washed away or whatever. Alright, now about a last will and testament. My mother passed away at age 87, November 11th, last month. That's been about a month and a week and a half, I guess, something like that. I laugh because my opinion of her, she was a greedy person, and I feel like she was a thief, and all she ever cared about was her damn self. Okay, I'm age 67, but this last will and testament she made out, she told me when she did this, it was about 9 years ago, I think. She paid this crooked creep lawyer $700. Okay, first off, it shouldn't have cost $700. It should have cost no more than maybe $200. And the will isn't worth the paper it's written on. And let me explain to y'all how that a will has to properly be prepared, made, or whatever you want to call it. Listen clearly to what I'm saying. Because, see, I'm very professional when it comes to property records and court records. I'm very professional at that stuff, okay? Although I don't have a legal title or work in legal. But these are things I'm very, very knowledgeable of. On a last will and testament, first off, when you list beneficiaries, their full name, also put their address under it so that some probate lawyer later on doesn't have to look them up. They'll have an idea where their address is or their last address. Put the damn address down, like my name and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, which this will my mother made. She didn't even put my damn address on there. And, okay, and then she lists a man that's lived with her since 2004, right at 20 years. Okay, she lists him as her loving companion. Okay, he lived with her for 20 years. You know, out of convenience in a mobile home up in Fort Worth. Alright. Well, about back in 2014, she received $98,000 from my father's back Social Security benefits that passed away in 2005. Actually, she was never entitled to that money in the first damn place because she was married an additional 3 times after her and my dad divorced in the year 1967 and had 3 more houses, you know, with the last man she was married to, her third husband. And then she divorced him and sold all those houses and blew the money partying and buying a bunch of jewelry and a bunch of crap, okay? So, really, she was not entitled to the back benefits of my biological father at all. But she had the money, so there's that. Alright. Now, alright, of that 98,000, she wasted all of it in that 9 years except for about $82,000. Alright, and that's in a savings account at Bank America. Okay, she listed me to receive 20%, and the man that's lived with her 20 years as her loving companion to receive 80%. Here's something sad, and it could happen to any of y'all. Did you know? Okay, that man that I know, you know, that lived with her 20 years, he's actually on a scavenger gold fever hunt, and he will probably never get anything. And I'm not going to hire some lawyer to, you know, do a probate on that will in a civil court. I'm not going to do it. Because you figure, okay, for this particular will, being there's no, it's not contested, okay, and there's one 9-year-old SUV and a mobile home, to where he's just there. He's just there, you know. And so that can just remain that way for the rest of his life. Now, as far as the vehicle, being that this will is never going to be worth a red cent ever, and I will tell you why here in just a moment, he's just going to have to keep registering that 9-year-old Dodge Journey SUV, you know, and keep buying insurance and list himself as the designated driver and not even mention her death. That's the only way, because he'll never get it in his name. He might if he creates a case with Texas DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, and, you know, you have to have a notarization and some witnesses, and, you know, like that, and show a death certificate. I lived with that person 20 years. They are deceased now. They wanted me to have that vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And they might put it in his name. But really, it's not necessary. You know, it's just one vehicle or whatever. And, you know, it's not worth that much money now anyway. And the trailer will never be a problem because there was never a title to it. It's just a trailer my mother bought back in 1980 for $1,500 cash. You know, they go for that up around the Kennydale area by Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so blah, 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 enough of that. But here's why that he will probably never be able to get that 82,000 out of the bank, and why it will probably be sent back to the U.S. Treasury before the end of 5 years due to an inactive account, you know, or it may even go back sooner. Because he did a stupid thing. Before he even paid a probate attorney, he takes the death certificate up to the Bank of America, where my mother's money is, and gives that to them. That he actually thought they were going to give him the money. I told him that doesn't work that way. Well, them having that death certificate, hell, they could close that account and just send it back to the U.S. Treasury. Because why would a bank keep accounts open for a dead person? Okay? Go figure. But here's why the will's not worth a red cent. Let me explain something to you. Okay, first off, the law firm or the attorney's name isn't mentioned like on the will itself, and there's no document number. See, to where there would be a copy of that. Last will and testaments are not a recorded item, people. But there is record of them to where an attorney must, you know, keep copy of that stuff or transfer to another lawyer if they go out of business or if they become deceased, if they die. You know, to where it has reference, and then a probate judge can look at the lawyer's name and reflect on, oh, okay, this lawyer actually existed, because they can get that information from the Texas Board of Attorneys. Did such a lawyer exist? And yeah, it's going to pop up. See, that judge will know it's accurate. Or this will be known before court or whatever. Alright, that's not listed on there. Even though the lawyer signs it in the back, that's still useless because it doesn't list a damn law firm, okay? Alright, next problem. Each page, there's 5 pages to this stupid will. Those pages are not numbered. Alright, now here's how these idiots did this at this lawyer's office. Okay, they put a place on the bottom, page acknowledged, and then to where my mother would sign the bottom of each page. Let me tell you why that's totally useless. Because each page has to be numbered. It could have page acknowledged of page 1 of 5, and then page 2 of 5, page 3 of 5, and 4 of 5, and 5 of 5. And then after that, after the number of page it is, there has to be initials of the same party. You know, which could be the attorney or could have been my mother. Either one would work. Without that, it's not worth the paper it's written on, because go figure. You take it to a probate attorney, and even if the lawyer is verified that there was that attorney that made that will, like for example, well, it's still not going to be worth a red cent, because it's going to be, well, how do I know this person that made this will, they acknowledge each page by signing their name at the bottom, but how do I know one page wasn't removed out of the stack? How do I know? Well, see, that's why it's no good. You know, it's got to be like property records are done, to where each document number or instrument number, it has to be page 1 of 1 if there's 7 pages, up to page 7 of 7, and then initials to the right of that. See, that's how that has to be done. Well, this will isn't done that. Anybody could have shuffled the pages like a deck of cards. It's not worth shit, man. It's not worth shit. You know, and this man, you know, this man that my mother called her loving companion, it's sad for him. I already told him I said, you know, I think you're spending your wills. I don't think you're going to get anything, you know, at all because, and he goes and gives this lawyer $3,500. And I said, that was a big, big, giant mistake right there. Don't ever pay any lawyer up front. That's flat fee attorneys that pull that bogus. Don't ever pay them up front to have a will probated. Let me tell you why. Because that's to be done on contingency and where they add their attorney's cost after the court order is issued for you to receive the money at a bank or the property, wherever that is, and where you must pay that attorney's fees before you can execute any of those things. So don't ever pay the lawyer first. Next, depending on what kind of will it is, this one, okay, this man that lived with my mother, he paid him $3,500 up front. That was wrong in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. I know this because I spoke to a representative, legal representative at J.P. Morgan Chase. You know, it's a phone number on the internet to where you can talk to, you know, an attorney or whatever. And I discovered, you know, that the going rate for a will like that, to where it's not contested, and there's only one car and a mobile home and no land involved, you know, and a checking and savings account, that is only $2,000, not $3,500. And that the amount shouldn't have been charged up front, but the amount added to, you know, when the court order allows the will to be executed, then the attorney's fees must be paid then. So you don't pay the lawyer up front. Okay, that's further advice. But, you know, I'm just letting you people know this, and don't pay any lawyer like my mother did, $700 damn dollars. That is so damn stupid. Anybody can make a last will and testament if you do what I've told you to do, and then you have it notarized, and you have two witnesses, and it can be people that works for the notary or just people that happen to be there can witness it. All you need is two witnesses and then the public notary, and then you sign the final page. That's all there is to it. You don't even need a lawyer for that. You know, or if you pay a lawyer to do it, it shouldn't be over, there's no way it should be over $200. You know, now, I mean, my mother paying $700 for that piece of shit that's called a will. Oh my God, that would be if there was like land and two houses and it was contested by someone's a-hole ex-hubby or wife. That's how it could be $700. But that will, it's not worth anything. It's like I keep saying, it's not worth a red penny. Because there's nothing for a probate judge, which is civil law court, you know, for probate on a will. There's no way they can reference that or trust it. It can't be. It can't be, you know. So that money, it's going to end up being whisked away back to the U.S. Treasury or whatever. I mean, and that man, you know, he's still living. He's on a scavenger hunt right now. He hastily went and gave this crooked lawyer $3,500. It's just all money wasted, burned up, gone with the wind, like the movie Gone with the Wind. That's all it is. You know, it's just, you know, ignorance. Anytime you do anything in life, educate on it. And not from people that flap their damn jaws. You got to get it from the accurate source. You got to get it from the accurate source, okay? But anyway, I think I pretty much covered it all here. You know, I think I pretty much covered it all. You know, and yeah, it's sad that my mother died last month, but you know, she was a greedy person. She loved money, and you know, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I don't believe in stealing, and I don't like anybody that loves money and materials. I don't like people like that. Now, I respect money because it's defense in life for your welfare, you know, even your health. But to love it, hell no. Hell no. And it was never hers in the first damn place anyway. You know, when the Social Security Administration gave her that $98,000 back in 2014, she knew she wasn't entitled to that. She should have given it to me and my living sister that's 3 years older than me, that's age 70 now. Because it's rightfully ours, because that's from our biological father's blood, sweat, and tears. You know, this is another issue, but it's the way I feel about it. And it has nothing, I have enough money. I'm doing good in life. But it's the fact, I told her, I said, Mom, you're stealing. You're stealing. And you're a lover of money. And you're going to answer to God, Mom. You can't do this. This is wrong. See, and she just got, yeah. You know, she had a sarcastic, arrogant attitude. Oh, well, I feel like she's answering for it now. You know, this man that lived with her 20 years, he mentioned to me, said, well, the only thing I want after I die, I want to go be with her in heaven. And I asked him, I said, what makes you think she went to heaven? You know, when people are liars, she's always been a pathological liar, a troublemaker, shortchanging people, doing people rotten. I don't believe people are just going to whisk away and go up to heaven. I don't buy that. You know, I don't buy that. But anyway, I hope you're all having a great day. You know, and love to all that choose to love and do right. And Jesus Christ is the way, people. Ding, ding.